Hi, it's me, Destiny Brandt, founder of It's Destiny Sales Recruiting, and hopefully your recruiter. I wanted to make a video today about how to answer the what do you know about this role or what do you know about this position. I used to say when I first got into agency recruiting and sales recruiting, there's three pitches that are included in every interview. Tell me about yourself, what do you know about this role, and what do you know about our company? As discussed in previous videos, I personally think that founders, especially go-to-market founders, prefer someone to take more of a proactive approach. So the reality is most companies are not going to ask you, hey, tell me about yourself. That's going to be framed in a different way. They're also not going to say, well, what do you know about this role? They probably will, at a certain point in the call, say, hey, I want to tell you about this role. And then they'll do a majority of the talking, where that's a huge opportunity for you to be proactive and run the conversation as previously described in the proactive interview style. So the what do you know about the role position should most likely be included in that tell me about yourself pitch, or in your kind of script in the way that you're framing the call, which is, hey, Destiny, I know that you're a sales recruiter. You talk to people almost exclusively. I want to get straight to it. I want to talk a little bit about my numbers, my conversions, what I've accomplished, and how it relates to this specific role, this specific buyer, product positioning, and the people who are here. I also want to tell you a little bit about what I know about the company, and hopefully you can fill in the blanks. The goal is to essentially get to a point where I have 8, 9, 10, 11 different problems that we solve, so I can start building out my cadence, my discovery, and how I'm going to go about building a needs analysis and positioning our offering with buyers. Destiny, I also want to tell you a little bit more about what I know about the position. This is a founding AE role. You're probably looking for someone who can build out ICPs, get to $1 million quota, design, build, and perfect go-to-market processes as it relates to sales and RevOps. Am I okay to get straight into what I know, and then you can give me insights into where there are potential gaps or opportunities for this role to evolve over time? Does that work? So I personally believe in all interviews are different, all founders are different, all tools and personalities are a little bit different. But instead of giving the employer a chance to say the same thing that they've said over and over with every other interview, and most likely insights that you already know through your own research or the in-depth information that your recruiter, your advisor, is giving you based on the discovery call and the challenger approach I have when I'm getting these insights about what the company is doing, where they're trying to go, and how this specific role aligns with you, my candidate, and your ideal background. So take control of the interview, be a little bit more proactive. There's so many different skill sets, and I think that having like kind of a long list of skill sets that you know are related to a AE role, a founding role, a head of sales role, a VP of sales role, a CRO role. So being able to list like, oh, I know that I'm going to be building out ICPs. It's going to be really important for me to test tools, enable tools, get a sequence going sooner rather than later, go out and build a lot of our lead lists, think about how I, as a founding AE, can contribute to social selling or product marketing. Maybe I'm someone who attends events, sources events. I assume that we need to get at least to $1 million ARR before we're looking at diversifying our ICP, or breaking down segments or territories a little bit more, or thinking about hiring a chief sales officer or a CRO, someone who can really help build off of that. These are the things that I've done. These are the things that I want to do. I think that another thing that you can do to put your best foot forward as it relates to the what do you know about this position role is to make a personalized video. This could be personal to this specific person that you're talking to, the company as a whole, or what I call a good old-fashioned evergreen video, where you're just, when your energy, your vibe is right, you making a video of why startups, what are some of the strengths involved in a startup, and then including maybe a breakdown on a Google Doc or PowerPoint of some of the situation, tasks, action results, lessons, and takeaways that you've had in your go-to-market or founding sales or sales executive career. That way, in your pre-interview note or your post-interview follow-up, they can understand that you understand the skill sets, the expectations, that you're thinking like the founder in terms of what they are going to want out of this next hire, and then you're giving them the energy and the tone in the video, and then additional examples that they can break into in some of those sales stories. I do say some of the sales stories kind of look the best if you are attaching specific frameworks. I used Medic training on this, or I used Kyle Assay's framework for this, and the takeaway being very specific to that role, that buyer, that company. So it what feels hyper personalized to them, even if this is something that you end up using for other interviews. So the goal is to sell what you know, find opportunities to learn more, and then to kind of regurgitate back to companies how you're going to be utilizing these the information that you end up getting from them as it relates back to the sales cycle. Even though that seems almost redundant or self-explanatory, a lot of executives, recruiters do a lot of talking, a lot of high volume interviewing. And so you can build a lot of trust with them just by kind of telling them the why of how you're going to utilize this. The person who is asking the questions is the person who is typically kind of running the interview. So make sure that you're asking follow-up questions to qualify or quantify. And with every pitch or every person that you kind of go over this, spiel to of what you've done, what you know, and how you're going to position yourself, see if you can learn something new that you then end up applying to your ultimate decision maker to show that you can rely on you can do good research, you can rely on both champion and mini decision makers to get the details that you need to really build a case on what works, what doesn't work, and why you're going to be the best person for the job. If no one has told you today, you're doing an amazing job. I'm so beyond proud of you. Don't forget to drink your water. Cheers to you. You're doing great. Let's make money.